Hello, my name is Nicholas Polymonakos. I'm part of the team that's helping put together the ESAR 2022 conference that's in Westminster, Colorado, which is just outside of Denver, the weekend of August 25th to the 29th. The website, if you're interested, and I know you are, all the information's there is esar2022.org. And today I'm with Jason Holley, who's speaking at the conference. He has a regular lecture and an amazing workshop that's on Thursday, August 25th. The name of the workshop is called The Great Goddess and Her Many Loves, Venus by Day, Night, and Twilight. Hello, Jason.
Hello, Nick. How are you?
I'm great. As a Venus ruled person, I think this is meant to be for me, and I'm talking to you about this. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in person, by the way.
Likewise.
Yeah. And that's a thing again. That's what's happening in our life, the relating that's happening again in the physical space, and we get to experiencing each other with our senses. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your workshop. Let the people know what they can expect.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it's Venus. It's a day when we meet. Venus will be almost at the zenith of the sky locally there in Colorado, and she'll be actually conjoined with the moon, and I think, and square the nodes and square Uranus. So it's a good time to look in on Venus and to feel into Venus. And so that's really what we'll be doing. The approach is kind of both mythological. So we'll be looking at particular stories of Venus from the Greeks, from the Romans, from the Mesopotamians, different versions of the story that we see. So it's like the approach to myth here is what we call a diachronic approach to myth, which is to say that we look at how the stories shift and change as they're told in different times and in different places. And by doing that, by getting a few of the different sort of Venus templates that can figure in the stories, my experience as a therapist is that those different templates will play out with people at different points in their lives. So at one point in your life, the sort of one of the Greek stories of Venus might be playing out. At another point, one of the Mesopotamian stories might be playing through. And, this is something very powerful to be able to kind of reference and find what's the dream someone is in, and what other ways might they dream, what other myths or stories might actually help them shift dynamics in that area.
Yeah, it's something that what you just said about the Mesopotamia, we're dealing with sometimes the story of Inanna.
That's right.
Even how they track Inanna, the ancient way of tracking with the conjunction with Venus and the moon at times, or the crescent moon. And we're talking about the chart that's happening that day with the moon in Leo and Venus in Leo. That just popped into mind. And also too, saying this and for those who don't know Jason, and I'm going to bring this part of who Jason is, of an embodied approach to what you do and with astrology and mythos, and not something we just see on a chart, but something that we can become and use.
Yes, exactly. And that's the other part of the thing. So there'll be a little bit of storytelling and psychological amplification of the stories. So in other words, what might some details of the stories mean psychologically and so on. So there'll be that sort of interpretive work. But the other side that we'll be in is really feeling into the myths and the stories and where they take us in our own bodies, and also through action methods, actually moving into and enacting some of the myths, enacting some of the chart dynamics. So I do something that you might kind of call astrodrama. It's basically psychodrama applied to astrology, where people actually embody planets and charts and embody figures and myth. And it's a way of getting a lot more information from your direct lived experience, so that you really feel, what does it feel like to be, say, Venus in Leo conjunct the moon that day? That's a chart that we can step into. And with the aid of the stories, we sort of find, oh, this is the dream we're in. And then we also can dream it onward, right? In that embodied way, like be in it and move further into it. So that'll be focused on the relationships of Venus, some of the relationships in the different myths, just because relationships is kind of one of those perennial topics that that comes up. You know, as astrologers, most of us, that's a question we hear a lot from people. And so this will be all about going in and deepening your multidimensionalizing the Venus archetype, like really getting a stronger sense of how it operates, but both from the stories and then from the internal experience, which is my favorite way to go, is to go into the internal. We get a deeper experience of it.
Yes, Jason, I just knowing you professionally as a colleague and and personally, that's who you are too. And from the times I've listened to your lectures and workshops and the way you relate and the way you transmit information and how it comes back as someone sitting in the audience and taking it in and learning how to use a story is empowering. And I think for astrologers who are learning about themselves, that's how we start a lot of the times, but we're also sitting with clients. We might not have Venus in Leo or the moon in Leo, but if we know we have an insight to embodiment, we can understand our clients better too. So I really respect like the way you come across with your astrology and in this workshop.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Jason, thank you for talking about your workshop. You're not just having a workshop here. You're also on Saturday, August 27th, just to let people know, you have a lecture called Finding Ithaca, Neptune Aspects and Transits in the Journey Home. So we do some Venus and then we do some Neptune. So that's good. That's right up my alley. If anyone out there is interested and not just going to the conference, but to attending Jason's lecture, you can go to esar2022.org. You'll see the registration links. You'll see the schedule. You'll see the hotel link to get rooms. There's a plethora of information up on there. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. We also have a Facebook page for people already attending, so they can already have conversations before the conference, so on and so forth. More relating, more Venus. Right. Jason, thank you for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks, Nick.